Welcome to Central Florida Musings. Super Bowl is this week, so it kind of put into mind the old Andy Griffiths story about the first football game that he attended. It was back last October, I believe it was. We was going to hold a tent service off at this college town, and we got there about dinner time on Saturday. Different ones of us thought that we ought to get us a mouthful to eat before we set up the tent. So we got off the truck and followed this little bunch of people through this small little bitty patch of woods there, and we came upon a big sign that said, "Get something to eat here." I went up and got me 2 hot dogs and a big orange drink. And before I could take a mouthful of that food, this whole raft of people come up around me and got me to where I couldn't eat nothing up like, and I dropped my big orange drink. I did. Well, friends, they commenced to move, and there wasn't so much that I could do but move with them. We got commenced to go through all kinds of doors and gates, and I don't know what all. And I looked up over one of them, and it says North Gate. We kept on a-going through there, and pretty soon we came on a young boy, and he says, "Ticket, please." And I says, "Friend, I don't have a ticket. I don't even know where it is that I'm a-going." I did. Well, he says, "Come out as quick as you can." And I says, "I'll do her. I'll turn around the first chance I get." Well, we kept a-moving through there, and pretty soon everybody got where they were a-going, because they parted, and I could see pretty good. I could. And what I seen was this whole raft of people sitting on these 2 banks and looking at one another across this pretty little green cow pasture. Well, they was. Somebody had took and drawn white lines all over it and drove posts into it, and I don't know what all. And I looked down there, and I saw 5 or 6 convicts running around up and down and blowing whistles. They was. And then I looked down there. I seen these pretty girls wearing these little bitty short dresses and dancing around. And so I sat down and thought I'd see what it was that was going to happen. I did. About that time, I got set down good. I looked down there, and I seen 30 or 40 men come running out of one end of a big outhouse down there. They did. And everybody where I was sitting got up and hollered. And about that time, 30 or 40 come running out of the other end of the outhouse, and the other bank full, they got up and hollered. And I asked this fellow that was sitting beside me, "Friend, what is it they are hollering for?" Well, he whooped me on the back and says, "Buddy, have a drink." Well, I says, "I believe I will have another big orange," and I got it and sat down. When I got back there again, I seen that the men who had got into 2 little bitty bunches down there real close together, and they voted. They did. They voted and elected 1 man apiece, and them 2 men came out in the middle of the cow pasture, shook hands like they hadn't seen one another in a long time. Then a convict came over to where they were standing, and he took out a quarter, and they commenced to odd man out right there. They did. And after a while, I seen what it was they were a manning for. It was both bunches full of them men wanted this funny-looking little pumpkin to play with. They did. And I know, friends, that they couldn't eat it because they kicked it the whole evening and it never busted. But anyhow, what I was telling was both bunches full wanted that thing. One bunch got it, and it made the other bunch just as mad as they could be, friends. I seen that evening the awfulest fight that I had ever seen in my whole life. I did. They would run one another and kick one another and throw one another down and stomp on one another and then grind their feet on one another. I don't know what all. And just as fast as one of them would get hurt, they'd tote him off and run on another one. Well, they done that as long as I was there. But pretty soon this boy that said, "Ticket, please," come up and says, "Friend, you're going to have to leave because you don't have a ticket." And I says, "Well, all right," and I got up and left. I don't know, friends, to this day what it was that they were doing down there, but I have studied about it. I think it was some kind of contest where they see which bunch full of them men can take that pumpkin and run from one end of the pasture to the other without getting knocked down or stepping in something. See you next week. Just musings from Central Florida. Weather is good down here.